All right, what's going on, guys? So I'm here, it's about 36 hours out from the Baton Death March that I'm doing on Sunday. It's a 26.2 mile ruck march that I'll be doing, and I'm just doing some final prep work with the pack out, getting some last minute items that I think I'm going to be needing during that long ruck march on Sunday. Now I went and picked up, and I now have together all the items that I plan on bringing with me as far as like for sustainment or emergency smaller items, or even some convenience items that I'm going to bring with me, last second things that I can pack into my ruck to make my life easier. And I'm preparing myself for the worst case scenario, you know, whether I sustain some sort of injury, or I have to poop real bad, you know, things like that. So little items that you might not have thought of. And I've been asked a lot about what sort of items you should bring during a ruck march. And I've been asked a lot recently with these last few rucking videos during this rucking series about what sort of items I would recommend and what sort of items I like to bring with me during a ruck march, especially during a longer ruck where you're going to be out there for upwards of 6 hours at any given time. So I thought I'd go through and show you guys items that I plan on bringing with me, as well as go through a little bit about the why for the importance of each item. But real quick, before we get into that, I just want to let you guys know that this video does count for the rucksack giveaway that we're doing as part of this series. And the giveaway is going to be for this Crossfire DG-3 Ruck. This is the ruck that I'm going to be using on Sunday for the 26.2 mile ruck march that I'm doing. We're giving away a completely free Crossfire DG-3. Looks just like this. The only difference is it's going to come brand new in Coyote brown color. And all you have to do is like, comment on this video, and subscribe, and hit the little notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. That will enter you into the drawing where we're going to vet everybody, make sure they did all those things, and using the comment that you used on all the videos that were already part of this series and part of this giveaway, one lucky person is going to win a completely free ship-to-your-door DG-3 Ruck. And it's also for international people as well, so you don't have to live in the States to be good for this giveaway. This is the second to last opportunity as far as videos go to do those things, to make sure that you do those things and also comment, that are going to be pooled for the final drawing at the end of all this. The last video that's going to be eligible for this giveaway is going to be when I go live, okay? And that's going to be happening on Sunday, 20 March 2022 at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. That's when I'm going to click the live on. And I anticipate going live. I'll be like in the middle of my ruck at that point. And I anticipate going live for probably around an hour or so. It really just depends on how much participation there is with the video to see how long it goes. I'm not really sure. We're going to play it by ear. But that'll be the last video that's going to be part of this whole giveaway for the DG-3 Ruck. Okay, so keep an eye out for that. It's coming soon. All right, so let's get into it. So first, let's talk about sustainment. Okay, so these are the things that I'm going to bring with me. And these are just things that are going to help you spark some ideas of your own. And you don't have to bring these exact things, but I think these are really good ideas to bring. This is the kind of stuff that I always bring with me, and it works really well. So first of all, Pop-Tarts. Bring one pack of Pop-Tarts. It doesn't really matter which flavor, but you're going to be getting roughly around 400 or so calories per pack of Pop-Tarts. They're really easy to eat, really easy to store, really light, and they pack a lot of good calories in here. Tons of carbs, tons of quick sugars. I wouldn't necessarily say it's good to eat Pop-Tarts normally, but since you're out there burning so many calories, you need the energy. Pop-Tarts are going to work really well for you. You're going to feel it when you eat it. They're really easy to get down. Next, I really like these Lenny and Larry's Complete Cookies. These things are awesome because they give you a lot of really good calories, almost 500 calories per cookie. Okay, they're light, easy to pack, and the macros are broken down pretty evenly, so you're getting like a lot of really good nutritional sustainment while you're out there for a long time. Okay, so these are really, really good to bring with you. They're $2 a piece, but I mean, it's almost like a complete meal by itself. So it's definitely worth the cost. Don't worry about the cost too much. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck here. And of course, you can't forget gummy bears. Any soldier is going to tell you that gummy bears are like one of the go-to items to bring during a ruck march. You know, you can put these in your pocket. You can get a smaller pack, put it in your pocket. Easy to get to, easy to get down, easy to digest. And they give you just that quick, sustainable energy because it's really just pure sugar, okay? I also would say Swedish fish are really good to bring with you on ruck marches. The only difference between the Swedish fish and gummy bears, like why I chose gummy bears, is because Swedish fish tend to melt a lot easier than just your traditional gummy bears do. And the last thing you want is be digging into the bag and you just have melted goo coming out with your hands and stuff. So these are a little bit better of an option for Swedish fish during the warmer months, but if it were a little cooler out, I'd go with Swedish fish. And the last thing I'm gonna bring with me is a 5-hour energy. Now this I plan to down probably around the 18 to 20 mile mark, okay? And it's more just because that's around the time when I know for myself I'll start feeling a little droopy. I am somebody that enjoys my caffeine. I try to use it strategically every day, or I guess tactically, but I am somebody that does consume caffeine. I say I take in anywhere between 300 and 500 milligrams a day. I know that's not low, but it's not super high either. But since I'm going out for a super long ruck, the last thing I want is to feel the negative effects of lack of caffeine that I would normally have. So I'm gonna bring this and I'm probably gonna use it. But if I don't need it, no big deal. But a little extra caffeine boost is not going to hurt you on something like this, as long as you're making sure that you're staying hydrated the entire time you're out there on your ruck, okay? So this is a good little thing to have. So now we're gonna move into things that you should bring with you to take care of your body, okay? First, I'll just go over some things that are, probably good to use on every ruck march. Then I'll go over some things that are good for emergency situations as far as taking care of the body goes. All right, so first of all, this is good for prep work and to have on with you. Okay, this is an anti-chafe balm, and this stuff really does work wonders. You need to put this on right before you go on your ruck, right here, where you would chafe or anywhere that you think you might be chafing. Just go ahead and put a whole bunch on, and then also bring it with you, especially if you're going on a long ruck. Because it will wear off after a while and you'll need to reapply, okay? But this is good because you can easily put it right back on, stick it down your pants while you're going, and just do it real quick. It doesn't take a lot of time. You don't have to like downgrade or anything like that. Bring this stuff with you if you're worried about chafing, and definitely prep with it beforehand. If you're somebody that's still working up, to having tougher feet with your ruck marches, or you're somebody who's super prone to getting blisters or hot spots, I would recommend prepping your feet with just a little bit of Vaseline, okay? I'm not talking about lathering up your feet here. You only want to add just a dab or so to the parts where you think you might get hot spots on your feet. This is a good thing to use. It's a good TTP. It's something that a lot of soldiers will do for their long ruck marches. I don't do it all the time because I have pretty tough feet, but I do think it's something that's good to have and bring along with you in case you do start getting hot spots, even if you're not prone to them, just in case, because even if you start getting hot spots, you can stop right then and there, take a second, take off your boots, and just rub a little bit of this on there, and that should help out tremendously over the long run, okay? So definitely some Vaseline, just a little one. Another good thing to have is lip balm or chapstick, okay? Mostly because you're out there for a long time. It really doesn't matter what kind of weather you're rucking in, whether it be cold or hot, your lips are gonna have issues with it over the long term. Chapstick's really good to have because, I can't even tell you, usually I'm out there, no matter what I'm doing, every ruck, I seem to have some sort of issue with the lips, especially if you're not somebody who's used to being outside a lot, or if you're in a really sunny area, or even if it's really cold when you're out there rucking, chapstick's gonna help you out tremendously. You're gonna wish you had it if you didn't have it. I would recommend getting this twist off kind, the more liquidy kind of lip balm. The reason for that is because chapstick, if you just get like the regular chapstick tubes, they tend to melt, right? Even if it wasn't super hot outside, just being in your pocket or something with the body heat, it tends to melt and then it gets all nasty and it's just no fun. This one, you can just take the cap off, squeeze a little bit on, you're good to go. So I would get this. And I'll also take an opportunity. I have not taken these things out of the package yet, but I absolutely will take all this stuff out of their package so that I don't bring anything extra with me. Remember, ounces equal pounds. So I'm just keeping this in the package, first of all, because I just picked all this stuff up, and second, because I'm just kind of trying to show you guys these things, how you'd go out and buy them. But make sure you take everything out of the packages before you actually pack in your ruck, okay? All right, and then also you want to get a small pack of baby wipes. I think it's pretty obvious. The main reason you'd want a little pack of baby wipes is the worst case scenario, you're out there for a few miles and all of a sudden you gotta take a big poop. And sometimes, you just can't hold it. There's nothing you can do about it. And the worst thing you want to happen to you is you gotta go hit the wood line and you gotta like use your t-shirt or something. Like, that's no good. So just bring a little pack of baby wipes with you, something lightweight. Don't bring a big old pack, just something that you might use just in case for emergencies. I'd also recommend using baby wipes if you find yourself in another scenario where you're out there long enough and you feel the need to change your socks. I'd recommend wiping down your feet before you put on your new pairs of socks with a baby wipe, just to get rid of that sweat and nastiness and help limit the onset of blisters and hot spots and all that stuff just by cleaning your feet that little bit before you slap on your new pairs of socks. So having a little bit of baby wipes with you is definitely a good thing to do. Also, I mentioned this before in another video, but you definitely, even if you're not like a hat wearer normally, that's okay. I would still recommend absolutely bringing a hat with you. Just stuff it in your pack, bring it with you just in case, because sometimes, you know, you just can't really depend on the weather. You can't really depend on how you're going to feel any certain day. You might just feel the sun beating down on you and just wish you had a hat, okay? And if you bring one with you, you'll have one just in case, all right, just to get the sun out of your face. So this is definitely a good TTP to do. Definitely put one in your ruck, even if you don't normally wear a hat. All right, now some pretty important emergency items that I think you should absolutely be bringing with you no matter how far you're going for just in case emergency situations. Sports tape. This stuff's really good for a lot of different things. I have used this in the past during long rucks. I actually used it during a 50-mile ruck that I did because I was starting to get hot spots on my feet and I didn't want it to turn into blisters. So what I did was I took my sports tape out, took off my boots, and I wrapped up my foot real good. Okay, not like super thick, but I at least put 1 or 2 layers of the sports tape on it just so that it wouldn't be sliding around everywhere and it was like an extra sock right there so that it would limit the hot spots from getting any worse. And it worked really, really well. This is also something good, whereas if you're running into like cramping issues or you're just trying to get back, you can use it for compression. If you do roll your ankle a little bit, or bad, hopefully not bad, but if you roll your ankle a little bit, you know, and it starts to, it feels like it needs a little extra support, you can use it for a support wrap. This stuff is good like all around, almost like an ace bandage, but in my opinion, a little better. And if I had to choose one from the other, just to limit the amount that I'm packing away, I would choose the sports tape, okay? So it's just good all around tape for injury prevention and treatment if the worst case scenario does happen and you just need to get back. So bring some sports tape, remember, take it out of the pack. Also, if you do end up with blisters, or if the blisters pop or you have sores, or if you just really want to get on top of those hot spots and try to negate the blisters from happening at all, bring moleskin. You don't need anything fancy. You can get the, I got the Exchange Select, which is like the PX brand, because I don't want to spend $6 on a pack of moleskin. But just bring, you know, a couple pads of moleskin for just in case. Now, if you've never used moleskin before, I'm going to give you a quick heads up, okay, just in case you didn't think of this or whatever. You definitely want to, you know, you get the packs of moleskin, and let's just say you are running into a hot spot or you have a blister or whatever, and you go to open this up and you want to use it. Well, they're just rectangular pieces. They need to be cut into the shape that you want them for. Now, if you're out there in the middle of nowhere and you're doing your ruck and you can't cut your moleskin, then you're kind of shit out of luck, right? So you have to make sure you bring something to cut this stuff with. You know, maybe a knife, something like that, okay, which is another good thing to bring with you on your ruck. Always bring a knife, okay? This is one of those situations where it's good to have. Really, anywhere you go where you don't have quick access to civilization, you should probably have a knife on you. So make sure you have a knife on your ruck march as well. Secondly, this stuff does tend to move around on you inside your boots after you put it on. So what I think is a good idea is if you need to use the moleskin because things are just that bad, put it on where you need it to go and then wrap it with a little bit of sports tape around it. And that will limit the chances that the moleskin will actually move around and move off the sore or the area that you're actually trying to apply it to. Okay, so these kind of go hand in hand here. But I like to always say, do your best not to use these kinds of things. Try to toughen up your feet as much as possible. This is really just like if something happens to you where you just can't take it anymore, or you really just can't make it back to your starting point because it just hurts so bad, okay? Oh, and then one more thing with the moleskin and the sports tape. If you do end up using this stuff, by the time you're done with your ruck, remember, these two things are gonna actually stick to your wound, okay? So you don't wanna come back and just rip that stuff off. It's gonna make things a lot worse for you. Just go ahead and leave it on, and when you go like take your shower or your bath or whatever, you can soak everything, and then that will make it a lot easier to take off, okay? So that's how you need to remove this stuff once you come back from your ruck if you decide to use it. I was thinking about this before. Let me know in the comments if you guys want a post-ruck recovery or how to take care of your feet video for this ruck that I'm about to do on Sunday. Let me know, because I am thinking about making a video like that. I think that would be beneficial for a lot of people. Now also, I think it's really prudent to bring a small bottle or at least pack away a few tablets of ibuprofen. Now, I'm not saying you need to be just popping these things willy-nilly because you feel like it or because your legs hurt or whatever. This is really for just in case scenarios, like maybe, like I talked about before, you twisted your ankle a little bit, maybe you're swelling up real bad, or maybe you're just on your final leg and you just can't quite make it because the pain is so bad you need to just pop a couple ibuprofen to get through it. That's what this is really for. You don't prep with ibuprofen. These are just in case, you know, emergency situation things to do, okay? Now I got the 200 milligram tablets, which I think are good to use. You don't want to go anything more than like 800 milligrams at any given time. I think more than once or twice a day, 800 milligrams, okay, which is a lot. Don't get in the habit of using this. If you use too much of this, ibuprofen is actually really bad for your intestines and your insides, and it can create ulcers, okay? So if you get in the habit of using ibuprofen too much, it's gonna cause like really big problems on your insides. It might, you know, negate the pain for the short term, but it's going to cause much longer term problems for you later on down the line. So just be careful with the ibuprofen. Don't go crazy, but have it on you just in case. All right, and then last thing, you're going to pack everything into a big Ziploc bag or something that you can pack away and completely waterproof, okay, just in case it does rain. You don't want all this stuff getting all wet, and you want to pack it away somewhere close, somewhere easily accessible, either like on the top of your ruck or maybe on a side pouch. Something like that. Just make sure the weight is evenly distributed. And again, all this stuff is pretty lightweight anyway, so that shouldn't be too big of a deal. And then also bring yourself a couple extra smaller Ziploc bags, because this is like another good thing to have with you if you're out there training in the wilderness or like far away from civilization. And let's just say the weather turns bad on you and you've got like your cell phone or like your camera with you or whatever that isn't waterproof. You can just throw it into one of these little Ziploc bags. Just be careful with it, zip it back up, and you're good to go. At least you're not going to break your phone while you're out there. So this is something I bring with me all the time. I even stuff a little Ziploc bag in my pocket when I go on my long runs sometimes if it looks like the weather's not going to hold up. But that is it, guys. Those are the things that I'll be bringing with me. I think these are all really solid things that you should be bringing with you during a ruck march, especially if you're rucking long distances. This is not the end-all, be-all sustainment packing list, all right? There's plenty of other things you can bring with you. With that being said, if you have any ideas or suggestions of your own that you want to share with everybody, please do. You can drop that in the comments so everybody sees it. Spark some new ideas for us all. But this should definitely give you guys some ideas on things that you should be bringing with you and set you up for success as you go out there and do your ruck marching. Don't forget, like, comment, and share to win a completely free DG-3. This is the second last video for that. Again, I'll be going live on Sunday, 20 March at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss that. It's going to be pretty cool. We can talk about whatever you guys want. I don't really care. You know, this is a virtual march, so I feel like around that time, halfway in or a little further than halfway in, I'm going to want to talk to somebody at that point, you know. I bought a really big power supply for it, so we shouldn't have an issue with that. The only problem I foresee is maybe the 5G goes out where I'm at, but we'll just have to cross that bridge when we get there and cross our fingers, hope for the best with that. But I'm gonna finish up packing all this stuff, finish up my my last minute PCCs and PCIs and checks for myself before I go out there and do this ruck on Sunday. If you're looking for additional opportunities to put your name in the hat for the drawing for the DG-3 Rucksack, I'll put up the more recent videos that are part of that competition here. They're also full of really good and useful information as far as rucking goes. So I'd highly advise you go check that out. Besides that, I got nothing else for you, and I'll see you on the next one.